Greetings, space princesses.
In case you haven't noticed, we really love Princess Leia Organa, so we're gonna talk about her.
Got her face on my shirt.
We're drinking an Anastasia tea.
For princesses! Where does one start with Leia? Princess Leia Organa, where does one start?
I really
Princess without a planet.
All things to all people.
I think that is a good place to start. Leia is such a multifaceted character. She's strong and she's tough as nails and she doesn't back down and she's feminine and tromps around forests and compassionate. And does she have to be all of these things because she is the girl one?
She's the empathy source for the story.
I think what is cool is that Leia really develops into that role. I think in the first movie, she is just tough as nails. Every line is like, take no shit, take no prisoners. She has a comeback for everything.
That torture scene, there's like needles in that thing and like electrodes and it's coming at her and her face is just this steely resolve.
And she's not sexually restrained. A real break with that kind of pulp sci-fi. If you think about pulp sci-fi, like novels and film covers from the 50s and 60s, which is what they're drawing from in those first movies, there's often a woman who's restrained by robots, she's restrained by creatures, aliens, she's restrained. There's a sort of sexy bondage element to it. And Leia's just, I mean, someone's holding her from behind, but there's no like strap or like probe business. They're just, it's a needle phobia scene.
I mean, Han's torture is the one we remember, but
I think that's the thing though. Leia is tortured for information. Han is tortured for emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
So they're not asking Han anything, they're just torturing him.
Yeah.
They're actually
they
torturing Leia to get information and she doesn't cave. And then they put a gun to her planet and she pretends to cave. And it doesn't work and they blow up her planet, but then she still hasn't given up the base. Leia does not give up the ship.
Yeah. It's really only when Luke, I'd say, start mourning Obi-Wan that we see a compassionate, comforting side of Leia. Up until then, it's into the garbage chute flyboy.
Until the end of the first movie, really. She's putting out one fire after another. She doesn't even have time to mourn her planet. Like, think of the PTSD that causes. Like, she's in denial for the whole first movie, basically, so that she can get shit done. Because shit needs doing.
Because of that, and her character is sort of slowly opened up to us and revealed to us over the course of 3 movies, she does feel like a really layered human person instead of like a grab bag of attributes.
I'm actually gonna say her hair reflects that.
Totally.
She starts with her like serious business buns and then she gets, you know, she's got
the
her
hot
wrap. You know, it's kind of practical, it's a little cute. And then we end with her like long flowing
ceremonial
princess hair. She kind of becomes unbuttoned in that way.
I think Leia was always destined to be a Disney princess because hair. Disney princesses gave all of us really unrealistic expectations.
I tried them all.
Leia's hair is definitely
an unrealistic expectation.
I never got Slave Leia sexy Leia because it's supposed to be uncomfortable that she's sexy. Like it's like
supposed to be horrifying.
She's uncomfortable that she's sexy. She isn't just a sexy window dressing.
You're sexualizing Slave Leia. You're doing what Jabba does. So I don't know why you want to be like Jabba the Hutt.
She's the subject of empathy when she is enslaved. She's constantly like thinking and processing, even though she can't speak. She's just waiting for her edge.
Slave Leia chokes Jabba the Hutt with the instrument of her own like captivity. Of her own enslavement. She literally wraps the corner of her neck. And that's one of the most violent graphic deaths.
God, it is.
It's like
it's really satisfying.
Okay. Like
wriggling
tail. It's formative Leia was really fun for me.
Yeah, like how Leia is such a human character that you can actually relate to her and map yourself onto her, especially as a female viewer growing up.
I mean, I was definitely the little girl with an older brother and all of his friends around and boys around. So I definitely did feel that like, I'm just as tough as you guys. Like I'm capable. I'm just as strong. I'm gonna find us this garbage chute because you guys are not doing it. So I really loved that about her. She actually was a capable princess to me. And that was just really fun to watch as, you know, 5 or 6 year old me.
I was big into princesses when I was a kid. I dressed up as Wonder Woman for Halloween for like 3 years in a row. I did love like that super feminine, like pink and purple and unicorns and all that stuff. I went through that phase. I didn't watch Star Wars until I was maybe like 12, and I watched them out of order. Long story, but I watched Return of the Jedi first. And so my first encounter with Leia was her in her like suit and like the braids that she wears on Endor and all of that. And my dad was like, oh, she's the princess. And to me, it was just eye-opening that like the princess has a job, and that job is to protect people. And even though like her people were destroyed, that's in there. She was raised with that, like, I have a responsibility to people. In Star Wars, you definitely see that. Leia does the job of princessing, and she does it capably, and she's pretty, and she's smart.
That's really formative at that age.
It was really eye-opening, and I loved her, and then I was Leia for 2 years for Halloween.
I actually didn't remember Leia when I was growing up.
That's amazing.
Age 7 to 9, Star Wars was only about Han Solo for me.
Well,
my first crush, right along with JTT.
That's beautiful. That's perfect.
Erase his love interest completely.
Of course, you're like me. His love interest, aka me.
I was going to marry Han Solo.
Oh,
that's so cute.
We're reading, electing, and supplying Leia with an army.
Can we write different Leias? I would give New Hope Leia gets an army.
On
the princessiest of princess.
Oh, she is
also the
armiest of army Leia. She's also got the rage of her death of her planet on her. Like she's gonna wreck shit.
I'll go ahead and read Return of the Jedi Leia because of all of the thoughts that she's having. If she had just journaled while she was
journaling.
I don't really think that she would go out and write like a novel per se. Yeah. But it's like, you know, stuff is happening behind that head, and like I would like to know what that is.
Elect Empire Leia. I feel like there's so many facets even within Empire.
But yeah, I think Empire Leia is interesting because Empire Leia is Cassandra Leia. Empire Leia is not listened to. She keeps saying she has a
trap. I don't think
she has all of the bad feelings because she is sensing Darth Vader's presence because she is very strong with the Force. Let's be real about what's happening when she's saying that. And we all should have listened to her. Why wasn't she in charge? Why does Han get to be in charge just because he's a boy? Sit down, Han. You got yourself frozen in carbonite.
This is not a cheerocracy. This is a cheer-tatership.
This is a cheer-tatership.
And Leia is the cheer-tater.
Yes. Yes.